Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Live and I'm a knitter and crocheter from Norway. Today I thought we would do another podcast episode where we talk about finished objects, what's on my needles right now, and also maybe some future plans for projects. I've already started some summer knits even though we're in April, or it's soon to be May. Probably when you're watching this, so I feel like it's a good time to start some summer knits. But since last time I've finished some sweaters. The first finished object is Anie by Skappel x Helene Mo. So this sweater and pattern is a collaboration between a Norwegian girl called Helene Mo and a Norwegian yarn / design company called Skappel. And the name of this sweater is Anie, and it's knitted in Skappel's yarn called Spinwheel, which is a very loosely spun yarn, and I was super skeptical knitting this. I thought it would be so clumpy and uneven, but it actually turned out kind of good once I blocked it. I knitted this on 6mm needles and it turned out pretty even. I'm pretty happy with that, how that's looking. And I did some alternations. I probably knitted it a bit longer than the size medium because I am a tall girl and I wanted it to be kind of long on me, but not like a dress, but still that almost covers the butt. And I am planning on making a more in-depth video about this garment because there's been a ton of questions around the pattern and how I managed to knit it. The next finished object this month is another sweater, which is probably one of the softest yarn combinations I've felt. It's the Birch, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's the Birch zipper sweater by Ullen Knitwear, which is a Norwegian designer. I actually got to test knit this, so the yarn is Ørnling number 10 and 4, I believe. It's their fingering merino and silk mohair held together on 4mm needles, which gets a super nice gauge. It's a pretty oversized garment, so this was kind of a marathon to knit, not gonna lie. So it's knitted all over on 4mm needles and has delicate Italian bind off and straight sleeves, knitted top down raglan. Zipper is sewn in at the very last thing you do after you block the garment. And I am a lazy girl, so I did not make a lining for the zipper, but there is an option in the pattern to make a lining for the zipper. I'm too lazy to do that. And in the pattern it says to fold the sleeves down and then sew them down like this, but I like the look of the longer ribbing like this, so I just kept them long and not folded down. I can always fold them up if I want to, but I always like to have my sleeves a bit longer and then fold them up during the day if I want to. So the next finished object is something I'm super happy about, which is a teddy clutch. Can we just take a moment? The last time you saw this yarn, it was probably in the shape of either hat or clutch on 5mm hook. This time I'm just gonna pull out everything I have in here because I used it yesterday. This time I decided to held the yarn double and knit it on 8mm needles, which made it super sturdy, and I don't feel like I need a lining for this anymore. The last time I was figuring out how to make it so that I could sew in a lining and everything. This time I just decided to go on a 8mm hook, yarn held double. It was not, I thought the crocheting itself would be harder, but it was actually pretty easy. I didn't have any trouble with like the hook getting stuck in the wrong places or anything. And I also used a clutch frame, which is the smallest size clutch frame that I could get my hands on, which is I think 20 or 21 centimeters. It's the same size as Petite Knit uses for her size small clutches. The way I attached the frame to the body was just simply crocheting it all the way around. So you can see the crocheted lining here is as my last round, and then I just like tucked the last round almost into the clutch itself, so I wouldn't get the lining or the border all the way around here. This is just how I like my clutch to be. But yeah, as you can tell, I have like my wallet, hand cream, lip glosses, hair clips, another lip gloss in here, and it's still okay. It has a smallest bulk here, but I feel like it's so much better than the last time I made a clutch with just a simple thread on 5mm hook. So yarn held double on 8mm hook was a winner for me. And I didn't really use a pattern for this one. I know there is a lot of pattern both in Norwegian and English for clutches on 8mm hook. So as long as you're holding the teddy, I don't think I mentioned it, I used the teddy yarn from Strikkefeber, which is a hand-dyed teddy thick boucle yarn. I held it double on 8mm needles. So as long as you use a pattern for 8mm hook and it's a clutch pattern, you should be good. I know Strikka Litt Mye, which is a Norwegian girl, has a pattern for 8mm hooks, and I also seen a lot of them on Etsy, so there shouldn't be any problem finding a pattern. The last project that I finished this past month is actually also the start of my summer knits / crocheting. As you can tell, I really love to crochet when summer hits. So I actually made a bra and, no, bikini, not bra, bikini, but it's super long. Here you can kind of tell the vibe. I think I want to make a lining for this due to the holes, just to make it a little bit extra coverage. This pattern is by Tuva Sandok, and I've made mine in Mandarin Petite, which is a yarn by Sandnes Garn, and it's crocheted on a 2mm hook, and the yarn is held double, so it's very sturdy and holds a very good shape, but I just wanted them to be a little more coverage than these holes are giving. And the reason they are all spaghetti and noodly like this is that you actually crochet the straps around a elastic to give them a little bit more of a bounce. So far, don't have the confidence to wear this open with the holes in them, and probably I'm going to crochet a dress or long sleeve so I can wear this underneath and then and have it as a two-piece set rather than just wearing this on its own. Let's move over to what's on my needles. I have 2 new projects and 1 project that you've seen before, so I can start with the one that's been in the game for a long time. This is the Mindy sweater by Sandnes Garn. It's knitted all over on 3.5mm needles. That's why it's taking me forever. But I barely just started one of the sleeves yesterday, I think. I picked up the stitches and knitted maybe like 1 round, so barely started sleeves. But I feel like I should get this done before it gets too hot to wear like this yarn combination here in Norway, as summer is approaching super fast. It's supposed to be a kind of oversized sweater, and the ribbing is not looking oversized right now, but I feel like blocking will probably fix that. I've knitted this in Sunday plus thin silk mohair, and they're both in the color 9564, which is this matcha green color that I've been seeing all over lately, I feel like. Both pattern and yarn is by Sandnes Garn, and the needles are moving so slow on this one because it's 3.5mm needles, and I don't have the knitting joy, I would say, to do 3.5mm needles at the moment. I would much rather knit on larger needles right now. I would much rather knit on larger needles. I've casted on a sweater. I casted this on Saturday, I think, and it's currently Tuesday, so yeah, I've knitted a lot on this. This is the body, so it's knitted bottom up on 7mm needles for the ribbing and 9mm needles for the body. I've used a pattern called Amanda Sweater by House of Yarn. It's a free pattern on their website, but I think it's only available in Norwegian. Knitting sweaters from the bottom up is always a risky game when it comes to like the length and how long you want it, but I feel like I managed to get a good length. As you can see, there are some stripies happening with the yarn. It's a hand-dyed mohair from the store called Strikkefeber, which is just, it's not self-striping, but you know, you can get some kind of striping with hand-dyed yarn. So that's just what's happening here, but I've alternated the skeins every now and then, just to avoid it being too stripy. It's been a while since I actually had to sew the pieces together, but I can manage, it's fine. But I've done with the body, and I'm almost done with this sleeve. I just need to, I'm thinking of attaching it to the body, like sew it how it's supposed to be, and then try it on just to get the length of the sleeve just right. And I also need to do the ribbing anyways. So a little more on this sleeve, and I barely started the second sleeve, but it's 9mm needles, so probably we'll have this done by the end of the week. So the last active whip as of now, I tend to get like crazy, wanting crazy cast on disease once the sun hits. But as of now, these are my 3 active whips. And this last whip is with a yarn that I've been seeing literally all over Instagram lately. It's the Lana Grossa Basta and this is in the color 11. I've been very kindly gifted this by Lana Grossa, and the designer of this sweater, which is also a Norwegian girly. And this, I just saw the orange in the viewfinder and oh my god, it's orange. Yeah, so this is a orange sweater. It's called Fuzzy Sweater by Tove Lindtein, and it's knitted all over on 6mm needles and 4.5 for the ribbing, which gives the ribbing a very neat finish. And I barely just started the second sleeve. This was also a sweater that was knitted bottom up, and the Anie sweater is knitted bottom up. The one in the hand-dyed mohair is knitted bottom up. So I feel like in Norway, because these are all Norwegian patterns, it's quite common to knit bottom up, but I prefer top down, I think. There's something weird happening. I don't think the view or the camera is picking it up, but there is a section here. I feel like there is a section that's less fuzzy than the rest of the sweater. But I actually, yesterday I was just literally pulling out some fuzz to make it more even. And I was doing a center pull at one point. So I feel like when I did the center pull, the yarn would, I don't know how to explain, just like crawl into itself and make it less fuzzy. I have no other explanation than why this would be less fuzzy than the rest of the sweater. I've started the second sleeve also yesterday, barely started it. Yeah, this is like, it's fun to knit for a while and then I get bored because it's just stuck in it. Knitting, and sometimes I need some more for my brain to work on, so this is taking me a while to finish, I feel like. But also I've been knitting a ton on other projects, and when you're knitting, you know, half a sleeve there, half a sleeve there, half a sleeve there, you feel like you're not getting any progress, but you're just getting progress on a lot of different ones. So that's why I don't know where I'm going with this. I just feel like I don't make any progress, but I am making progress. It's just not as visible as if I were to knit on only one project, if that makes any sense. The last section of the podcast is usually my planned project, and I am doing it like this because I change my plans probably every other day. As of now, these are my current plans. I need to put my hair up, actually. So once the sun hits our living room, it just gets super freaking hot in here. My plans as of now is with these two yarns. I know I've talked about some other yarns in some other podcasts, but as of now, this is what I want to cast on. And it's a crochet cardigan in the rest of this lime green color. This is the same yarn as I used for the bikini. This is just, I have probably 7 or 8 skeins left of this lime green color. I originally was gifted this from Sannes Garn to make a top called Rose Top, which I've talked about before, but then I decided to switch out the color with a yellow color, so I am thinking the yarn for the yellow Rose Top should arrive this week. So that is one project, yellow Rose Top. The next project is a lime green crocheted cardigan. I haven't decided on pattern yet, but I saw this cotton cardi, I think it was called. I will put a picture here. lime green cotton cardi is the next project that I want to cast on. And in the yarn package from Sandnes Garn, there should also be some yarn for a little cute crochet bag, which is a free pattern that Sandnes launched this week, I think. I will put a picture of the bag here as well. So that's 2 crochet projects that I want to cast on and 1 knitted one. And the last knitted project that I want to cast on is probably the star of this show, because it's the French market bag in Japansk bomull or Japanese cotton from Isagar. I am just taking a moment for these cuts. It's 100% cotton. 50 grams is 315 meters. And I think one costs around 100 Norwegian kroners, which equals to around, I think, 10 or 9 euros, I think. I'm not sure, but it's quite expensive for cotton, and it feels, by the first touch, it feels like literally paper. So I'm quite skeptical to knit with it, but the lady in my local yarn store told me that when she knitted the French market bag, she was actually very pleased with how it would knit up, and it was a soothing experience to knit with. So I hope I also get a soothing experience knitting with this cotton. I'm not usually a super fan of knitting with cotton, so we will see. These episodes are a very nice way for me to look back at the past month and just take a break and enjoy my projects even more. And I'm super thankful for everyone that's been watching my videos and commenting and just giving me feedback on what we should do further into the future. And if you have anything that you want me to make or as of videos, please send me a message on Instagram or leave a comment down below. I was thinking of doing a what are my summer knitting plans. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please leave a comment down below, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell button for getting notifications for the next time I upload. And my voice are getting super sore, so this is all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in a month.